Hello, can you hear me? Okay. Thank you so much again for joining us. I'm Angela Colabella. I had introduced myself at the beginning, but I'm the education director, and this is...
I'm Diana Sanchez-Maciel, education program manager at CAFILM.
And this is actually our last education screening for this year's Mill Valley Film Festival, and we are so honored that you all could be a part of our final screening. So thank you again for being here. Yeah, give it up.
Maybe before we begin, take a picture. We can all take
sure,
a picture for us, for our memories. So
Yes.
if everybody could say, sing, sing, and raise your hands as I take a picture. 1, 2, 3, sing. Woo, all right, thank you. Thank you.
Thank you so much. So we have some special guests that we are going to invite to the stage here pretty soon. But first, I'm going to start with our special guest and moderator, Ericka Huggins. Ericka is an educator, a human rights activist, a poet, and a formerly incarcerated person during many years in the Black Panther Party. Yeah, come on down. Okay, so while we're waiting on some of our guests who may be in the building, Ericka, I was just going to ask what your impression of the film was. I know this is not the first time you've seen it.
No. I could see it again and again and again. It just, did it open your heart? Did it remove crap from your mind? I just felt like it was a study in humanity. And it's precious, and it makes me feel very aware in my own experience, but in the experience of the men who are in the film, the real ones, as well as the actors and everyone involved, that our country would be different if federally and state-wise and county-wise, we had something like rehabilitation through the arts. It should be a given that human beings, right? Human beings deserve to be treated in a humane way.
Well said. Thank you. While I would love to sit up here all day and have this conversation with you, we actually have our guests here in the house.
Yay.
I'm going to introduce. Please give it up for director and co-writer Greg Kwedar, co-writer and producer Clint Bentley, actor Sean San Jose, actor Clarence Maclin, actor Sean Dino Johnson, and actor and executive producer John Divine G Whitfield, the real Divine G portrayed by Coleman Domingo.
Honored to be in your presence. Thank you for your words. Thank you. Hey, thank you, guys. Thank you. Thank you. You got a seat? Okay. Special.
Do you want some water? Should we pass the water down?
I'm fine. I'm good.
Gotta hydrate.
Here you go.
You want water, son?
Okay. There you go. Hold that down. You all good?
Yeah.
Very good. How y'all doing? How y'all? Hey, how y'all doing? Hope y'all enjoyed this special treat.
You missed all the love that was showered on the film before you walked in by them. You're high school and college students? How many high school students?
What school is you from? Say it again. Say it. I said all of them. One person.
Shout out to your school.
Okay. What other schools? Tem High. All right.
Woo.
That's it?
And what colleges?
All right. There you go. That's what's up.
Okay. Would you like to hear who's who again? Okay.
Okay.
You want to begin?
Well, my name is John Divine G Whitfield. As you can imagine, the movie is premised on my life, my journey while in Sing Sing as a founding member of Rehabilitation Through the Arts. And, plain and simple, man, when we created this program, we created it in love. It was about trying to find a way to transform that environment to a place where we could use it as a place that when we got out of prison, we just didn't come back. That was my vision. Because it used to hurt me to see guys come back and forth to prison. And me being in jail for a crime I didn't commit, I just went on a mission. I said, man, we got to find a way to stop these guys from coming back to prison, and arts is transformative.
Name is Dino Johnson. I like to be called Dino. I'm also a founding member of RTA. And when I first went to prison, I was angry. And when I realized that I was going to be there a long time, I decided I'm going to become a rocket scientist. Meanwhile, I'm going to learn as much as I can learn, be as good as I can be, and I became a sponge. And education was my thing. So I would go in these rooms and just absorb up like a sponge, just learn as much as possible. And the arts turned out to be one of my favorites.
Hello, everyone. My name is Clarence Divine G Maclin. And it was the education that really gave me the courage to be here today. The education that showed me that arts really is the connecting factor that we all need to adhere to and, put more attention on and pass down art, the creative power of it. We need to pass that down.
Good afternoon, everybody. It's so cool to be in a room with so many young, open minds. Thank you for experiencing this film that's really special to us. So thank you for taking your afternoon, sitting indoors and watching this. I'm just amazed, and I think we all have to take a moment like we're in the presence of greatness, a righteous leader of justice, just honored to be in the same space with you. We have a legend up here, so honor that. And
All
welcome
of
it.
you are legends.
Yeah, we trying.
All of you.
You've done. But I'm just honored to be here. Like I said, my name is Sean San Jose. I play the character Mike in the film. Just honored to be on this journey with all of these folks that have made this experience that was beautiful to film, but as we've been taking it out into the world, to have dialogues like this has been the true gift of it. And I'm looking at all of you, and I'm remembering just a few years back when I was in high school. The high school was like the moment, my last year of high school, where I have to say I was the most fucked up as I was an individual, and I could have gone left and I could have gone right. And Creator saved me and my mother saved me. And I think at that moment when I turned about 17, I started what has turned out to be a lifelong journey of just healing, learning, and evolving. It's just so amazing to be in a room with you all who are much more open than my young, really fucked up brain was. And so much shit happens to us culturally that we're not even aware of, that I sit up here with these guys and we talk about and we hear and we experience things together. And just I say, be honest, be true, and stay open as much as you can. I spent so much of my life wasting it by being scared and not giving and not listening and not unlearning. So I'm just awed to be in the room with you all and to be with these brothers up here.
Thank you.
At first, I was gonna go language, Sean, but then I just thought about the movie you just watched, and
We talked 7 times.
then I thought about my 17-year-old son, and then I was like, whatever. Yeah. Hey, just echoing what everyone's saying here. Like, we have had quite a 24 hours. Yesterday, we were part of the first ever film festival inside of a prison at San Quentin. And amongst and in community with incarcerated artists, we were watching their work, we were seeing their creations, their films, and then sharing our film alongside them. And then there's an immense power in. My name's Greg, by the way. We really use intros to just get right into it. I was the co-writer, director, and producer. Alongside this wonderful community of artists, but when we were in San Quentin, and now we're in here, and there are things that are always, every time we've been screening this all over, I don't even know how many times since a year ago we first premiered this film, and we've been in a lot of beautiful theaters. We were in this theater back in March, but what's beautiful about film and creativity and then sharing it together is whenever you're in these theaters and the lights go down, we are having a connected experience. There's a power in watching something like this next to somebody, some stranger in the dark, that there's a beauty in like feeling the same thing in the same moment that the person next to you is, and that was happening yesterday in San Quentin. It's happening now with you all who are the future, who are going to actually make this a little bit better and clean up a little of the mess that we've made before you, and you're going to tell your own stories, and I hope that if any of you are artists out here, or maybe there was an artist, is that TikTok? What is TikTok? No, but just like Divine Eye, there was an artist within that was just sort of whispering, and then someone else saw an artist in that, and then sort of that whisper got louder and it became a roar, and then he did something with it. And now that something is a movie, and that's, kind of carrying on and creating this legacy. So I feel your presence, feel the energy in this room. They're very good vibes.
I'm Clint, thank you. My name's Clint. We wrote the film together. I'm a producer on it. And thank you for being here. I remember us not too long ago, but longer than maybe I'd like to admit, being in your position and sitting out there and just thinking about all the things we wanted to make one day. And it's an honor to be here. And I hope we can be of some service to you, because there's a lot as a filmmaker and a young artist there's a lot of things to be scared about and sad about the world. But there's an amazing amount of power, and you all sitting there, and there's a lot to be excited about what you can do with your art for where we're at in the world. So thank you for being here.
Thank you. So, as Angela mentioned, I was incarcerated, and wrongful incarceration is really huge. And I want everybody to understand that when you're mad at somebody, whether you know them or not, and you say, I wish they would go to jail, rethink it. It's not a place for human beings. It's not a place. And there are countries in the world that have different programs for people incarcerated, sometimes dependent on the, quote, crime, sometimes not, but they are all treated, Australia is one place, they are all treated with respect as a human being, and it is assumed that they deserve to move forward in their lives and live a beautiful life. And I wish with everything in me, since the United States builds the most prisons in the world, California being the state with the most prisons, that will change in time. When I was incarcerated in a women's prison on the East Coast in Connecticut, I was so reminded of all those women. And we never leave when we leave, do we? No. There's always a piece of us that stays there and wants to go back. So what I did was I started working with incarcerated women and was a part of a project. And then I'm going to bring it back to all of you, that had the first drug treatment and recovery program ever inside the jailhouse in California. It was the most amazing thing. And when you were sitting in silence, I don't care if you were an actor or himself, as the scroll says, when you sat and went to your favorite place, that is what saved me when I was incarcerated. So there's so many messages in this film. I had 3 or 4 questions I was going to ask, but I'm not going to ask them. I just wanted to thank you for being inspired by the story that you came to know and finding the funding for and the support for this film. It made me laugh, it made me cry, and it was a form of remembrance. I hope that none of those women are still there all these years later, but I'm sure that some of them are. And I want you to think about ways as young people that we can do it differently in our world. So I did have one question I still want to answer to, that we might benefit from hearing the answer to. And that is, what is it that you want people to learn, especially those of you in the film, and it may be also for you creating the finished product, but what is it that you wanted people to learn and be inspired to do?
Okay. Well, actually, there's actually 2 messages that I would like for the world to take from this movie. And the first message is for people that have not been to prison. It's for people that only get a glimpse of prison through media, the news, or movies. The message is that the people that you see or the people that you know that are in prison are just that. They're people. They're human beings. Made mistakes, whatever circumstances led them to where they are, they're still human. And every human has the ability to change. Every one of us has the ability and the capacity to come and add on to community in a positive way, if given a chance, you know, if given an education. If a lot of us that found ourselves in prison, we came from underprivileged communities in the first place, and we came from schools that had outdated books in the first place. We came from a place where we wasn't educated properly in the first place. And on top of that, our economics wasn't up to par. Single parent home, maybe both parents are home, but the economics do not reflect a well-lived life or the ability to raise your family correctly. You know, so a lot of choices don't come to our neighborhoods. A lot of the advantages that other neighborhoods get don't come to our neighborhoods. So when you look at individuals that are incarcerated, these are people that have circumstances that you may not know of. But if you were to pour a little humanity into them, if you were to give them a little bit of human dignity, you definitely find a different person. You find somebody that is more willing. Education brings about a willingness to add on to positively to community. Because once you know what's right and what it is to do, it's kind of hard to go back to doing wrong and negative. You know, once you know, you gotta live up to what you know. And that's what we found. We found that, you know, we educate ourselves. We didn't wait for the Department of Corrections to correct our behavior. We didn't wait for that. Because we see they had no interest in that. They had no interest in correcting our behavior. They would rather we go back out, commit another crime, and come right back. That's what they wish for us. But we found another path for ourselves. And once we were on that path, we uplifted one another to stay on this path. Do not deviate. We got a job to do.
Thank you. Thank you. Can we hear from you?
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. One of the primary reasons why we kind of like created RTA, for me, I can speak individually for myself, is that it used to hurt my heart to see guys come back to prison. And you would be surprised that recidivism level was so extreme, and it used to hurt my heart. So at the time when we created RTA as a founding member, I had like 15 years in prison, and I had found the evidence of my innocence and just couldn't get out. That was it. You know, my case involves extreme prosecutorial and police misconduct. It's racially motivated. It's a whole lot of issues. So I said, you know what? While I'm here, I'm going to turn this bad situation into the best thing that happened to me. Somehow, some way, I'm going to find a way to do that. Because I guess that's what the will of the universe, God or whatever, put me here to do that. And with that said, when we created RTA, the mission was to find a way to take creative arts and create an element that would empower people, that would, that would give people life skills and, that would motivate them to change their behaviors. Because Sing Sing, as you may know, is a maximum security prison. It's a violent environment. So what we did is we created that element where you can come to this place and you can open up. You can put your guards down, you can put your shields down, and you can be open, and we can come in there and love each other. Because I'm a love man. I don't put no cut on it. I'm about love because I know love is the power that can change things. That's right. And point blank and simple, I think, and I feel we are blessed to have this movie to finally showcase the fact that we created a program that's about healing, that's about helping, that's about empowering. And, it's a vision that we've been blessed. And I just hope you guys walk away with this and understand that arts is a very powerful tool for changing human behavior and empowering people at a level where we become so communal and helpful and, healing of each other. Because that's what humanity is about. It's about helping each other, making this place a better place.
Thank you.
I'll just, could I add to that? We've watched what he's saying, in the 8.5 years in working on this film, making this film. We've been in the presence of these men and seeing their process at work and have had a lot of love poured into us. That's what kept us going. Is just that. And I think if there's another lesson to take from this is like, if you look, as you watch this movie, that environment, the walls, the heat, all of that razor wire that wraps around it, it feels like a place where what he's just discussing can't exist, that there's no oxygen for that. And yet, it's a mindset, it's a choice. Like, we can choose joy no matter what's going on externally in our environment, in our lives. We don't have to settle for misery. We can see each other, we can connect, and really we can't really do that alone. I think the movie at its core is also a testimony to friendships in our lives. Those old friends that you've got that are kind of like ride or die that you can just kind of look at and like nod, and they know exactly what you're thinking or feeling. We need those friends, and we need to hold on to them. And then there's the friends the new ones like Divine High, who can come in and just shake it all up, and show things about ourselves that we didn't know we needed to touch or look at, and that it's actually sometimes the things that we're holding on to really tight and that we're protecting and we don't want people to see is actually the most precious and special thing about you. And by allowing someone in and seeing that, you'll realize that it is beautiful. And so I think like that also is happening in the movie. You know, I think it's not really a prison film. It's a human story at its core, but it's also a prison film because it proves that a human story can defy its environment, you know, and that it can show sort of the path ahead.
Thank you. Yes.
I'm going to begin by saying I don't know what all of you are going through. I don't know what's going on in your lives. But I know you didn't wake up this morning and expect someone that don't even know you to tell you that he loves you. I love you. I love you and I don't even know you. I love you because I know your potential. Right. You have the ability to be your best, and you have the ability to be your worst. Some of you are going to do great things in the near future. Some of you are going to do great things further on in the future. Some of you are going to do amazing things in the far future. Right. But I want you to know that we want you to be better than us. You see, because we went to prison and began to appreciate our humanity. I want you to start appreciating the value of your humanity now. The more you appreciate it, the less mistakes you're going to make. Okay? I just had to get that off my heart.
We're glad you did.
Because I'm looking at them and I see me in their eyes. And we wish you guys the best and take what you took from this movie and understand that you're loved, man, and you have value. It's just like if you was to take $100 bill and crumple it up and throw it on the floor and stomp it and drag it across the stage, you still want it, right? Why?
Because it's $100 bill.
Because it has value. You guys are worth 1 billion of those $100 bills. You understand what I'm saying? And all you have to do is pick that bill up and unfold it, wipe it off, blow it, and it still has its value. The same thing goes for you guys when life has a way of stepping on you and dragging you across the stage. And it's one of the things I admire about a lot of the men I came in contact with that was imprisoned falsely. I look at them and I learn from them because it humbles me that they're not angry, they're not mad, they just want to help others. That's a great lesson to learn. Look to the person to your left. Look to the person on your left, right. You're all destined to go great places. Respect your journey.
I'm sorry to say that we're almost out of time, but do we have? Okay. So would you like, great students, would you like to ask a question or make a comment? Comments are greater than questions in a way. Don't be shy. There's someone that will come and help you. Just raise your hand. Okay. Stand up and ask your question.
You want Mike?
Thank you for being a mic runner. Yay.
That's right. Greg on the job.
Hi.
Hi. How are you guys doing
today? What's your name?
My name is Ariel.
Hey, how you doing?
I have 2 questions actually. So one of them is.
Hold the mic so we can all hear you.
Sorry. One of my questions is. So.
It's okay.
I probably didn't hear, but like, how old were you guys when you went to jail?
That's a good question.
Yeah, well, me personally, I was in my early 20s. And as you may understand, I went to prison for a crime I didn't commit. However, I was in the street hustling and doing this and so forth. And I went to prison for a crime I didn't commit, found overwhelming evidence of my innocence, and just couldn't get out. I was in my 20s, early 20s.
I started having issues with the criminal justice system at the age of 15. I was finished with them by the age of 40.
I also started having justice impacted issues at a young age, probably 15, 16, 17, and I came out of prison at 46.
You had a second question, right?
Oh, my second question was just, I was gonna ask you guys, like, how everything was going, like how your day was, you know?
I'm not sure we all heard you. Sorry.
I was asking how your day was, how was everything going?
It's been beautiful. Thank you for asking.
Of course, you know. I ate down.
You got everything?
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you.
Anybody else?
Can you pass the mic?
The gentleman right here looks like
Yes, he is. Raise your hand again so that.
Sorry,
Okay.
there you go, right there. There you go.
Hi, just want to say, first off, amazing film, maybe my favorite of the year. I wanted to ask, sorry, definitely, sorry. I need to sit with it, but it was, sorry, definitely my mistake on that. Wow, it was, I've never seen a film that has felt so uplifting in such a long time. It truly is, I don't even know how to put it into words, not that there's a microphone for me. I had a bunch of things to say about it, but now that this thing is here, I'm like, I don't know what to say.
Okay.
But amazing film. But I did have a question. What was it like to kind of relive that experience through making this film? Like a lot of it, I mean, I don't even know how I could process doing something like this. What was it like going through this and making this film?
Well, actually, it was a lot of apprehension about revisiting that particular mindset, walking back into what we consider hell. It was hell for us living in there. So walking back into hell and actually putting on that uniform that identifies you so well as an outcast in society. After getting away from that, after getting out, and then to go back. But actually the purpose of why we were doing this, the message that needed to get out to you and the message that needed the brothers and the sisters that's still behind the wall, the things that they needed to know, that this is possible, that change is possible. You could be, we're not stuck being whatever society called us or labeled us as. I was once labeled a gangster, a thug, all of these things was labels that I had to wear. And being that you called me that, I lived up to that. So the message is that you don't have to. You can choose, you can make another choice. So we need to get that out to individuals who are still incarcerated. And the other message to the people that are not is that the people that are in prison are not animals. We are not monsters. We're human beings and we have feelings, and that didn't stop when we got sentenced. We have a heart and a mind that they couldn't cut off with a sentence. They still work. My heart still works. My mind still works. And I need an opportunity to use those things to better community, to better society. Just give me a chance.
Okay. This is the last question, I think.
Okay.
Hi, my name's Luciano, and first of all, I just wanted to say that this story, this movie, is one of those films that like really like bring your love for art and film like back like into yourself. So thank you guys for that.
Are you
And
an artist?
kind of, yeah. I like to draw and
Hey, man. After my own heart. Yeah.
yeah. So, and sometimes it just gets like, you think like, I don't know, it just like, you lose interest in it almost because it's like, this isn't going anywhere or whatever. And then you see films like these and it you know, fills your soul. So thank you. And then,
Can I speak to that just a little bit?
yeah.
Man, my first passion was drawing. That was the first thing I thought of. I took the comic books and I took the characters and drew them out of the comic books. That was my first thing. However, where I grew up at, that wasn't fashionable. That wasn't, being an artist it didn't compare to being a football player or basketball player or these people that are looked up to in the community. So I suppressed that. I stopped doing that and started doing something else, which led me to prison. And when I got into prison, I saw these guys up on stage creating art. And that's what rekindled the artist in me. It brought that back because, see, all art is connected. Whether you draw, paint, it doesn't matter. Whatever you do, all art is connected. It's expressing something inside you for someone else to see. And that's what art is, and that's connecting. That's something that's unifying. It unifies us all. This is what art does. And I was so appreciative to get back to that. So don't quit.
Yeah, thank you.
And that's the essence of, and that was the essence of how we created RTA, because we saw the transformative power in arts. I mean, arts is just so amazingly powerful to the extent that it connects humans. It allows us to be more communal, more helpful, more empowering toward each other. And what you're doing now, I mean, you're on the right track. I mean, you got your mind open to art. And believe me, man, just stay the course. Don't go off track. Stay the course, man, because arts is a very powerful tool. And I think our movie is a clear representation of that fact. It has healing power. It has, you know, the humanity elements in there. And I think, man, Sing Sing is going to be the, you know, the catalyst to making people understand that with arts and opening up and being, you know, humane with each other. This is, you know, the step toward, you know, making this world a better place. Because that's when we created RTA, that was the mission. What can we do to make this place a better place? And I think arts did that.
Thank you so much.
I think you had a statement.
Did you have a question though?
Oh,
Did you have a question?
did you get to?
I thought he had a question. Oh my God.
Like interrupt you guys. Sorry. I was just gonna ask, like, if you could go back in time and, you know, tell yourselves like the first day that you were in jail, like what's some advice you would give your younger selves, like back in your first day, thinking, you know, I don't know what you guys were thinking. If like you're thinking, I'm gonna get out of here, it's over, this is my life.
First day of jail?
Yeah, like
I would say for me, man, patience, man. I was one of those individuals that, you know, that I was, you know, my personality was about getting things done. And, you know, I mean, if you've seen the movie, I was just a person who just had to get things done. I was about doing things, getting things done, getting this. And I think one of my greatest mistakes was that when I got into this extreme automobile accident, I was severely hurt. I couldn't work. And then despite the fact all my years, I was one of them good kids that just wasn't getting into crime. I had all my friends that was out there getting into all kind of stuff. And I was that one kid that never got into stuff. And finally, I said, you know what? I couldn't work. I was actually a candidate to become a New York City police officer. I passed all of the, you know, the testing, the criterias. And finally, you know, after that accident, I couldn't make money. And I went out and started selling drugs. I didn't even survive like a month. Got caught, didn't know what I was doing. If I could go back in time, just a little bit of more patience, just a little bit of, believing in the fact that just patience is a virtue. Because I was just so, aggressive in trying to get things and helping my family and doing that. Patience.
Could I add something to that? I think if I could turn back time, I would go back to your age. I would start listening to my parents.
Yeah.
Because right now,
absolutely.
Right now,
they were telling me to be calm, Divine.
Divine, at your age, I remember how rebellious I was. Sometimes you just want, well, that's how you lived your life. Let me live mine, right? Yep. Right? Adults don't understand. They don't understand. That's not cool. Let me tell you something. Yep. Adults do understand. Your teachers, they understand. Those people in your life are there for a reason. And that was my biggest regret. Yep. Because I sat in that cell that first night and I said, damn, I should have listened to my mother.
Oh yeah.
I should have listened to my grandfather. Divine, let me get this out. I should have listened to everybody that was in my life that was trying to direct me and guide me. But I was too interested in doing what I felt because I figured I know what was best for me. That's how you guys feel, don't you? You don't know what's best for you. You got to sit back and be patient, like he said, and listen, because the best thing for us is sometimes the thing we don't like.
Okay. I would love to do this all day. Really, it's been so inspiring. I just want to thank you all for being here, for sharing your wisdom, for sharing your experiences, for sharing your artistry, and for sharing your love with our students. This is so amazing and wonderful, and I just could not be more thankful to have each of you up on this stage sharing your experiences with this film. I wish we could have more questions, but unfortunately we got to call it a day. So give a big round of applause for all of our artists, panelists, director, writer, talents.
Thank you. Thank you.
Enjoy your day.